Thank you. It is indeed an honor to be here. I think I'd like to address just a short, scant 10 years before Joseph Mairs. Arguably the most horrendous labor slaughter in history took place. Along the Putumayo River in Colombia, the native Colombians referred to the plentiful rubber trees there as trees with white blood for their sap or the latex that they bled. Enter one Luis Arana and his company, or rather his private army, that specialized in extortion, mutilation, rape, and murder. In 12 short years, over 40,000 native Colombians were exterminated by his company because they didn't produce enough rubber for them. They're all labor martyrs, every single one of them. His company store, where the natives were compelled to buy their wares to work to tap the rubber, he increased his prices sometimes by as much as 7,000 times, so that a native worker working for 1 year would only pay for the first 2 weeks of his food. The debt was so horrendous that it was passed on to his living children and even his unborn children. And so I had great difficulty writing this song, but I somehow felt I had to do it. This is called, it's from the eyes of a survivor of this horrendous mess. It's called Dying for White Blood. I am my father's son, a slave before my birth, a debt my father owed to those who rape the earth. They promised food for family, shelter, and much more, but all he got was endless debt at the company store. I tried to run away once, lost 2 fingers and an ear, and then to further punish, hoist my mother with a spear. My sister and 600 girls were taken as sex slaves, and when the guards were done with them, they burned them in mass graves. They herded us like cattle all round the village well, and when the smoke from their guns cleared, everyone had fell. My brothers and my children, my wife and all my friends, we all held hands and held our ground, dying for white blood. So here you are today, with all your luxuries, and all you take for granted has a bloody history. The food upon your table, the fuel that heats your homes, and the cars you drove today are carried by white blood. They herded us like cattle all round the village well, and when the smoke from their guns cleared, everyone had fell. My brothers and my children, my wife and all my friends, we all held hands and held our ground, dying for white blood. My brothers and my children, my wife and all my friends, we all held hands and held our ground, dying for white blood. Hold your ground.